I'm here under threat, duress, and coercion.
You're not even listening. You're not even going to listen. I listen to what you said. Are you going to listen to me?
Well, go ahead.
Are you giving me permission to go ahead now, too, right?
I am here under threat, duress, and coercion to demand
You're
that
not
this
here under threat, duress, or
prove some kind of jurisdiction. And until jurisdiction has been proven, we can go no further.
Today, we've got Judge Perkins facing off against yet another sovereign citizen, a young man who somehow thinks he's cracked the secret code to dodge the law. I mean, seriously, do these people wake up one day and just decide, yeah, I'm above the justice system now? Because that seems to be the logic here. This guy actually speaks smoothly, sounds intelligent, and then, boom, he dives straight into sovereign citizen nonsense like it's a winning strategy. Watching it unfold is like watching someone take a perfectly good meal and refuse to eat it because they think the fork is part of some conspiracy. From the jump, Mr. Jameer Lockhart, who insists on calling himself J.
Did you send a note to the court, Mr. Lockhart?
Yes, I did.
Did not accept your offer to contract and do not agree to these proceedings. All right. So what do you want to do?
I'm here under threat, duress, and coercion. I'd like to say for the record, my name is Jamil of the family Lockhart.
Let's get the record established. This is the city of Detroit versus Jamel Amir Lockhart. Appearance for the record, please, Counselor.
Rita White, House Counsel, on behalf of Mr. Jamil Lockhart.
All right, Mr. Lockhart.
No, no one is representing me on my behalf. I don't know that.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Lockhart.
Yeah, so I am Jamil of the family Lockhart, flesh and blood, living man, and attorney in fact for Jamil Lockhart and Legis Trust. I'm here by threat, duress, and coercion. I'm here making a special appearance. And I'm here to demand that the court prove jurisdiction over me as a live flesh and blood man. As I said, I submitted a challenge to jurisdiction. Jurisdiction must be proven and proven on the record. And then also I submitted Freedom of Information Act request for your foreign registration statement and anti-bribery statement, as well as that of prosecutor. There is no contract. Every presentment that was made to me was formally rejected and sent back to the court, which is what you have a copy of by my notary. I do have a live witness notary who can come in and testify to that fact. Given that there is no commercial contract, no commercial agreement, I fail to see how the court has jurisdiction. Furthermore, there's been no injured party. And no, there's been failure to state a claim through a verified affidavit. So if someone can prove to me how this statutory commercial court has some kind of jurisdiction over me as a live flesh and blood human being, I think we could start there.
Well, let's start here. You have a notice is not what you think notice should be. Notice is what is if it's properly effectuated in the courtroom. And I'll certainly give you whatever hearing that you want if you file the proper motions and material to contest that. I'll give you an opportunity to be heard on that. But furthermore, what I'm looking at is I have a proof of service.
There is no proof of service that was rejected and sent back to the court. You have a copy of that.
You're not even listening. You're not even going to listen. I listen to what you said. Are you going to listen to me?
I am listening to you. I'm just responding to you.
All right. So why don't you listen before you start making statements?
Oh, you had paused. I thought you were finished.
What it isn't.
Well, go ahead.
Are you giving me permission to go ahead now, too, right?
Of the family Lockhart, H. Flesh and Blood, living man, starts declaring that he's appearing under threat, duress, and coercion, and demands that the court first prove jurisdiction over him. And he does this while refusing to acknowledge the court's normal procedures. He's got a notary ready, he's got timestamps, he's got affidavits, he's all in on this elaborate pseudo-legal theater. But here's the kicker. He's not just trying to challenge the court. He's doing it in the rudest, most confrontational way possible. Judge Perkins, of course, is calm, professional, and completely unfazed. He lays out the facts. Expired plate ticket.
All right.
I assumed you were done speaking.
All right. Listen, I have an envelope with certified mail. I don't know what I believe the contents have been stapled to the envelope. It's got a proof of service effectuated by Nyla Perrin. I have a signed complaint here, signed by Officer Randy Randolph on 11/19/2019.
Is he here today?
And we can get him in here. Today is only date and time is set for arraignment. So you're just being arraigned, and what the arraignment purposes of your arraignment, and let's go through the whole thing, is you're here for a expired plate ticket. That is a civil infraction that carries a $145 fine. There's an allegation that you did not have a drove while license not valid or improper. That is a misdemeanor offense, punishable by 93 days at the maximum by 93 days in jail and or $500 in fine. On the same day and time, it was an allegation that you did not provide proper insurance. That is a misdemeanor, as it's written here, and that is punishable by the maximum possible penalty of 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. There's also a warrant for your arrest for an allegation of an improper, not valid driver's license. So today is the date and time set for arraignment. You have the option of pleading guilty, not guilty, or standing mute. You stand mute, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. What would you like to do, sir?
I am here under threat, duress, and coercion to demand
You're
that
not
this
here under threat, duress, or
prove some kind of jurisdiction. And until jurisdiction has been proven, we can go no further. I would also like to ask you, is this proceeding taking place under common law?
This proceeding is taking place in accordance to the court rules and the statutory laws of the state of Michigan.
So I am not a creature of statute. I am not under statutory law. I would demand that this proceeding take place under common law, as I am a live flesh and blood human being, under no authority but that of God.
All right. I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm going to give you another court date. I don't have any All
I need you to do is prove jurisdiction.
You don't tell me what you need me to do, sir. Don't do that. Just let me finish.
With all due respect, the court must prove jurisdiction.
I understand that. We can get this over with quicker rather than later if you let me do my job. What I was trying to say, you're making your claim and stating your case that the court doesn't have jurisdiction over you. In order for me to properly review that and go, it's got to be done according to the court rules. I need a motion. And I will read that motion.
I have submitted a motion to dismiss for lack of subject matter jurisdiction.
I don't have it. I don't have it in front of me. And then I'll give you a motion.
I have a timestamped copy of it if you'd like me to show you.
All right. You got to submit it to the court. Look at the.
It was filed by the clerk just 2 days ago.
Okay,
I have a timestamped copy of it.
It hasn't got to the file. I'm going to give you another pretrial date.
I would like to say I do not consent. The court has to prove jurisdiction. I filed that document a few days ago. Anything short of that is an admission that there is no jurisdiction and we have no further business. We have no contract.
Driving without a valid license, insurance issues, each carrying real penalties. And every time Lockhart insists the court has no jurisdiction, Judge Perkins patiently points out that legal procedures exist. Motions need to be properly filed, notices properly served, and yes, real evidence needs to be submitted. It's like the judge is trying to teach a young man how the real world works, while he insists he's discovered a magical loophole that lets him ignore it entirely. And then comes the next level of delusion. Lockhart acts as if disrespect will somehow win him points. He interrupts, demands permission to speak, insists he's not under statutory law, wants the proceedings under common law only, and continues referring to himself as a living man. Watching
For this hearing too.
Jamil of the family law card here.
Okay, you're still, did you have a question, sir?
None other than just stating that I do not consent to these proceedings and I do
You've
not
already
accept
put
any
that on,
of the
you've
contract.
already put that on the record.
Okay, good.
You came back in.
I would also like to ask why this Mrs. Rita White had claimed to represent me.
All right, let's go back on the record with Mr. Jamil Lockhart. How old are you, sir?
I am 27.
You're 27 years old, and you go ahead and you ask why Miss White is here to represent you. Well, first and foremost,
Why did she claim to represent me and I have no knowledge?
I'll explain to you. First and foremost, she's the House counsel for this evening. So for this afternoon, she represents anybody who wants her representation as far as helping them to navigate and to defend themselves.
I have never expressed that want to her.
Why do you talk over people?
Well, I assume we were having a conversation. I'm sorry. I'll be quiet.
I am trying to have a conversation, but one's got to talk and one's got to listen.
Okay, go ahead.
You asked why Miss White said she represented you. Miss White said she represented you because she didn't know beforehand the position that you were going to take. So she's just merely
quite an
doing
assumption.
her job.
That is quite an assumption. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, by the name that you put up on there, Jamil of the family Lockhart,
That is
I wasn't surprised I wasn't surprised the avenue that you were going to take on that. Just
I'm
by the
glad you
name.
recognize
But I
where I'm
can't-
going.
But she's not going to assume. I don't believe she's going to assume that she's going to treat you any differently than anyone else. And then you said that you didn't want her representation, and she.
Wouldn't you agree that for future reference, it might be better to ascertain that kind of information before she makes that kind of statement for everybody?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
So the assumption is that everyone wants her to speak on their behalf.
Yes, until.
Is that not a rash
they say-
assumption?
Until they say differently, like you did.
Okay. Well, again, this whole time, there's a motion before the court to dismiss for lack of subject matter jurisdiction.
Well, there's not a motion
There has
before the
been
court.
what has been filed. I have a timestamp copy of it. I can show you that if you need to see it. But
Okay,
your
well,
clerk
let me explain
timestamp
to,
filed that document.
let me explain to you. And this is just for your information. You say that you filed it with the court and the clerk down at the window, and I wouldn't disagree with that. But typically you want to, when you do your filings, that's why you want to have a judge's copy and you want to specifically have that copy hand delivered to the judge's chambers. So we don't rely on the court clerks downstairs at the windows to make sure that these files get put into the proper place. You're not going to make.
Who do you
that
rely on for that?
You're making, and you're because you don't want to make that assumption that that file is going to get into the correct file. You don't want to make that assumption. Would you agree?
Who do you rely on to make sure that filed documents get into the right place, get into
The person that's filing it, yourself.
So it is not, you're telling me it's not the duty of the clerk to ensure that documents are filed in the case where the judge can view those documents.
It's painfully clear this isn't clever legal strategy. This is someone speed-running his way straight to jail while bragging the entire time. The courtroom transforms into a bizarre mix of secondhand embarrassment and dark comedy as a young man fully confident in his genius slowly digs himself deeper. The irony here. Lockhart isn't stupid. He actually sounds articulate and intelligent. That's what makes it so baffling. How does someone like this buy into the sovereign citizen fantasy? It's like watching a person with every tool they need to succeed stubbornly ignore them all in favor of shouting at the wall. And credit where it's due. Judge Perkins doesn't take the bait, doesn't lose patience, and lets Lockhart dig his own grave. Every interruption, every bold claim that he's above the law.
On my capacity, that document was sent to the court. It was sent to the court by a notary. So I do have a live witness to attest to that fact. It has also been time-stamped. That was recorded as well. I have checked all my boxes when it comes to notifying the court. I've also given you a demand for your Freedom of Information Act request for your foreign registration statement and your anti-bribery statement. The idea or the fact that you do not have that is an issue, and it would mean that you are committing a crime against me and holding this statutory proceeding and trying to confuse me as a live flesh and blood man, that I am a corporation beholden to the corporation which you represent. And that is my main point here today, is to tell you that I am not under your jurisdiction. I am a live flesh and blood man. You've already stated that this is not a common law proceeding. I am under no law but common law. We have no commercial contract which would enter us into any kind of statutory law.
Okay.
I failed to see the issue. And there's also no verified complaint with a signed affidavit.
Sir, let me stop you. And I'll let you put that on the record. I'll let you put it on the record already. We've already done those things. So I'm going to end it.
What you're committing here is a fraud against the people.
Okay.
That's what you're participating in.
Okay. Whatever your position
and
is.
without your foreign registration statement, that's an admission that you are here as a criminal actor.
Okay, sir, I'm gonna end the hearing now. Club.
And I do not consent to any further hearings on this issue or this matter. We have no valid contract. We failed to prove jurisdiction. There is no valid claim.
All right. I do
not consent.
That, sir. I've already let you make a record, and I don't want you to mention any more because I'm going to hold you in contempt of court. Okay. So I'll let you make your record. I set a date.
Do whatever you feel like you need to do. I'm here to tell you that I am not under your jurisdiction.
All right. Have a great day.
Law. Every attempt to dismiss the court's authority just reinforces his own failure. So Lockhart comes back for round 2, and oh boy, he's determined to make this mess even messier. He starts by insisting he doesn't consent to the proceedings, demands the court prove jurisdiction, and refuses to acknowledge any representation by counsel. At one point, he's questioning why Mrs. Rita White claimed to represent him. The guy is 27, and somehow he thinks interrogating the court staff like this is going to help him. It's almost impressive in its audacity. If only it weren't so painfully misguided. Judge Perkins again remains calm and methodical. He explains step by step that filing a motion isn't just about handing a paper to a clerk. There are rules, proper formatting, serving copies to the other party, scheduling hearings. It's not a magical process that happens because you say so. But Lockhart keeps insisting waving around his notarized documents like that alone will dismantle the court's authority. He even claims he's a live flesh and blood man, not a creature of statute, demanding everything be under common law. The courtroom is basically a reality check waiting to happen, and he's still in full denial. Then comes the best part. Lockhart keeps insisting the court has committed a crime against him for holding this statutory proceeding and treating him like a corporation instead of a living man. Meanwhile, Judge Perkins calmly points out the reality. There's no verified complaint, no evidence of a contract, and no procedural shortcuts that will magically make the law disappear. Every time Lockhart yells about jurisdiction, he's basically confirming the court's point. Laws exist, procedures exist, and ignoring them won't make them go away. The absurdity peaks as Lockhart demands more proof, timestamps, and notarized documents, all while refusing to acknowledge that his filings haven't been properly submitted to the judge's chambers. He's playing a high-stakes game of pretend legality, but Judge Perkins refuses to participate. He doesn't escalate, doesn't humiliate him unnecessarily. He simply applies the rules, points out the flaws, and lets Lockhart dig his own hole. It's frustrating, hilarious, and a little tragic all at once. By the end, Lockhart is convinced he's proven something monumental. While the reality is crystal clear, he's created a spectacle that wastes the court's time, delays his own case, and does absolutely nothing to help his legal situation. It's like watching someone try to fight gravity with a cardboard shield. Passionate, dramatic, but doomed from the start. The confidence this guy carries, combined with the total lack of self-awareness, is almost admirable, if only it weren't so misguided.